Hi, I'm Scruffy Lookin RGB. In today's video, we'll be modding this once faulty GBA that I fixed up in a previous video. If you'd like to see that, go ahead and check out the card in the upper right. We'll be installing some awesome pieces from Funnyplaying. This will be my first purchase with them, so I'll give you my thoughts on it at the end of the video. We might even take a look at some GBA Japanese exclusive games as well. But without further ado, let's get Scruffy Lookin. Let's get right into it. I've already taken all the screws out, so we're going to pull these buttons out and get to work right after we take out this ribbon cable. Let's do a little bit of spring cleaning first. This has got a little bit of dust and buildup on it, so let's do that first. She's been primed and cleaned, so let's get this clear Funnyplaying speaker in. So you want to get your solder wick and get rid of the old solder. Pull out that old speaker. Just like so. And you just grab your new speaker, replace it. Add a dab of some solder here and there. And it looks nice, don't you think? Here is the flex cable, the heart of the mod actually. There's select right and left buttons. This is going to help you out with adjusting the brightness for this mod. It came out pretty well. And here is the beautiful clear glass finished shell from Funnyplaying. I'm a big fan of clear consoles, so I had to get this one. We're not going to use these spacers today because they have these nubs here that are going to help us out. Here is the IPS screen itself. I'm going to just check out how it fits before you put it in there. As you can see, one of the nubs needs to be snipped out, so we're just going to snip this and cut it out. And that's it. Very easy. Definitely suggest you get the pre-made shells specifically for this IPS screen. It'll save you a lot of headache. Now let's get into the double-sided tape. I had to cut a little notch out, one on the left and one on the right, so that it will fit. And just fastened it like so. You want to be careful of the connectors, these two rectangular shaped connectors here. I'm using the back of the tweezers as a platform, and then I just use my finger to put it in place. And the flex cable is now attached. And we're not going to use the 40 pin because this is a 32 pin board. Just put a little crease in it so that it stays out of your way. Next we look at the TP2 point. That will be for the select, and that's going to help control our brightness. So just add a little bit of flux and a little bit more solder. I definitely suggest using the brightness. Just because you have it, might as well use it, right? 30 gauge wire, very thin. So you don't need a whole lot of heat here. I'm going to flip the board around now and connect TP2 to the select. And there it goes. Now we're going to take our next wire and attach one point to the R tab and the other point on the right shoulder button here. And the last wire, connect it to the left tab and solder it to the left shoulder button. Sorry for the blurriness, but here's a clear shot. And that's pretty much it for soldering. Like I said, there's 32 pin and 40 pin options depending on your board. There's a one in the front here. You can tell I have 32 pin, and you can also just check the board. Here it says 32. Okay. We're gonna just tape it down with some Kapton tape so the 40 pins don't get in our way. Then you want to spin the board around 3 times. It kind of gathers up all the wires for you, keeps things out of the way from getting caught. But here are some beautiful buttons I also bought from Funnyplaying. SNES style colorways. Got them in our shell, so we're gonna just go ahead and attach the flex cable. One thing you gotta check, make sure you tuck in all the wires so that they're not being pinched or sandwiched by one of the posts. But since it's clear, it's usually easy to see. As long as you have some tweezers, that'll help you out a lot. So I suggest using tweezers for this mod, definitely. So, once you fasten the flex cable, you're going to want to thread the wires. Make sure there's no pinching. As you can see, everything looks clean, nothing being pinched. Everything's going around the posts and through the little holes there that are provided. Now let's just add the rest of the button pieces, power switch and all that. There it is. And our back shell. Button it up. Now it's time for the glass in front. Make sure to take off all the protective plastic before you place it on. Voila! Wow, that's pretty. Now for the real test. You can see the left and right buttons and select are working. It's adjusting the brightness accordingly. And the brightness, I have to say, off first looks, is really crisp and clean graphics. Buttons work just fine. I think this is a beautiful addition to any GBA. It brings you out of the dark ages, so to speak. So I'd really recommend it for any retro game enthusiast who's on the fence about it. I really can't stand the non-backlit screens. I can't play those, so this has really helped open up a whole new GBA library to me that I had otherwise not really cared much for because I didn't have an IPS. Definitely check out an IPS screen if you are thinking about it. I have to thank Funnyplaying for making this kit. It's really beautiful and it works really well. I'm happy with how it turned out. The shell and the buttons also turned out nice. The clear speaker as well. Question of the day: what do you think of this mod? Do you think it turned out well? Would you have done something different? Should I add some more? Maybe an HDM out, some speaker amps, clean juice? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more mods, I've got those, and we've got some more GBA game hunts as well. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and do so at the end screen. I hope you all are staying safe and having a good time wherever you may be. Take care, everyone, but above all, stay scruffy looking.
Who's scruffy looking?